Why are you laughing, Kaylee? Yeah, I can't help it. I can't help it if I'm a YouTube star. It is what it is. You just need to live with my infamy. Hey everyone, I'm Gonzo. This is Dungeon Class. Today we're going to talk about why backstories are the key to epic Dungeons and Dragons. There is a lot of counsel that is given to building backgrounds or backstories for your players, and we've done videos on that. Check out in the description where we'll have our video Backgrounds Matter. We talk about building a backstory for your character. There actually is a difference between background and backstory, and some of the counsel that's been given online is that when players make very detailed backstories, 5-6 page backstories with all kinds of information in it, that as dungeon masters we don't want those kind of things handed to us. We don't want that kind of input from the players. And after watching a Runehammer live stream, he mentioned this for a few minutes, and I agreed with him wholeheartedly, and Mark and Logan and I decided to make a video about this very same thing. The key is when players are creating a character, if they're inspired enough to write a backstory and really be detailed in why their character became who they are or are doing what they're doing, that is going to be very key for you as a dungeon master to be able to use this, and I'll explain. First of all, we all know what backgrounds or backstories are. This is what a character that is playing D&D as an adventurer, this is how they became that. This is what happened before. And if you think about a good example for a backstory, think of the first Iron Man movie. Tony Stark. We know he was a billionaire, playboy. He really didn't have a care in the world, just kind of lived his life pretty freelancing, and didn't really have a lot of weight on his shoulders until he saw firsthand and experienced firsthand what his company was producing and how it affected other people in the world around him. After that traumatic experience and led him to building the Iron Man armor, he changed. His character changed from a normal everyday billionaire like you and I to someone who was out there trying to make a difference in the world and stop the evils that were going on. This is when we design characters, we kind of do the same thing. And sometimes players like I and maybe like you, we have a really detailed idea of how our character became what they are. Think of the barbarian who shows up at the table and says, it gives you a backstory of, my tribe was taken by frost giants, and I'm after these frost giants. Maybe there's some of my members of my tribe still alive. Maybe they're enslaved. Maybe they were sold somewhere. I don't know what's going on. But, when a character brings that to you, that's great story element for you as a dungeon master. Think of the wizard that shows up and says, I've lost my father. He was actually practicing magic. He was a well-known magic user, pretty powerful, but he got too creative and he created a portal that sucked him into a world that I can't find. And so my goal is to find these books and things and tomes that he was writing and studying, so maybe I can follow him and get him out of there. Again, this is gold given to you as a dungeon master. These characters that we create as players are not just the race that we pick for them, the stats that we roll for them. It's not the class that we pick. Okay, I'm a fighter, I'm a wizard, I'm a barbarian. It's not the magic weapons they hold. It's what created these people, these adventurers, these heroes maybe, and what led them to choose this lifestyle, to put themselves in danger all the time. It could just be as simple as they just want fame and fortune. Or it could be something a little more detailed. That's the key. So I'm here to say and agree with Runehammer, it is okay to have a very lengthy backstory as a player. And as a dungeon master, it is okay to take it, because we don't need to take all of the information and tie it into the story, because a lot of times you have other players playing as well, and you want to be able to hit on all of their backgrounds or backstories, but you want to take the key elements. You want to listen for the things that they're really after, or what really altered their life in a way that they chose to be this character. The players are doing the job for you, Dungeon Masters. This is great. They're giving you the carrot to dangle in front of the horse. That wizard that's looking for that portal that took his dad away, maybe there's a rumor that he hears about a dungeon that has a library full of old books about portals and how to create different portals and entrances into other worlds. That, I guarantee you hint that rumor to him, and he will lead the rest of the group to that dungeon. You don't have to do much else. That barbarian that's looking for his long-lost tribe that was taken by frost giants, all he has to do is see a footprint in the snow of a frost giant, and he's going to say, guys, I'm going that way. It leads your characters to having more fun at the table because they're fully engaged in fulfilling their backstory. It's a shared storytelling experience, as we always talk about, a cooperative storytelling, and this is their portion of buying into the game that you've created as a dungeon master and into the world you've created. I just wanted to share that tip that do not be scared as a dungeon master if someone gives you a big detailed story. If they give you a short one, maybe you can help them to flesh it out a little bit as the game progresses and as the nights go into the next night and you figure out how they can increase their backstory as well. But it's definitely something that you should look forward to, and also that you can think of as something that's gold for you as a dungeon master. They're doing so much of the work for you. Speaking of backstories, before I continue, don't forget to subscribe to Dungeon Class if you haven't already. Let us know in the comments below what you think about as far as detailed backstories, very small and short versus very small and short ones. I like both, but I think there's a place for detailed ones. And hit the like button if you haven't already. We appreciate it. As you know, in August of last year, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I have been going through some very heavy chemo. I've lost my hair. It's just now starting to come back. That's a good sign. That means that to let you know that my doctor's given me a short break from the chemotherapy because my numbers are doing really well and we're responding. The cancer cells are responding to the chemo in a positive way, that everything's been shrinking down. I will tell you it's not fun. It's not always easy, but it's definitely something I can do. And one of the reasons that I feel that I'm doing so well is the support system that I have around me. My family, my friends, and you out there in YouTube, and all of your comments that you send me on Twitter, within the comment section on the YouTube channel. I so appreciate that. Mark and I and Logan are just excited about being a part of this great community with so many creative ideas and so many good people. And so I wanted to let you know that I'm doing well. I'm at my 6-month mark. I have a long road ahead of me, but with your support, along with those that I'm surrounded by here, I feel that I can get through this, and we'll continue to create, roll dice, and I'll trust in these high-level clerics that I have on my side, as well as the deities that I worship to get me through this. And keeping the trauma out of your backstory, make sure this month, March, is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to share that with you. Get yourself checked. If you're over the age of 40 and you have any issues at all with your bowels or just digesting food, or you just have an upset stomach, it's not a big procedure. I can tell you it was pretty painless to get a colonoscopy, or at least go to GI doctor and have yourself checked out and make sure you're doing well, because if it's caught early, they can beat this really quick. And unfortunately for me, it's not the case. I have a longer road ahead of me. But get yourself checked out. It's Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to share that with you. With that, class dismissed.